Hello, my dear students. In today's lecture, we will be looking at The Child by Munshi Premchand. Munshi Premchand in fact, is the pen name under which the author wrote. Munshi was a title which was given to him. He was actually Dhanpat Rai Srivastav, 1880 to 1936. I'm sure all of you know that he wrote in Hindi. And the short story that we are now looking at was actually called Balak, the Child. Before we begin talking about the story, let me spend a couple of minutes telling you something about Munshi Premchand. Premchand was a very, very famous, well-known, popular Hindi writer. He wrote about a dozen novels, a few plays, and about 300 short stories. He also translated into Hindi works from other languages, including some foreign languages. Hailed as Upanyas Samrat, Premchand's novels dealt with issues that were very important to the society, to Indian society of his days. He was, in a way, a social reformer, working through his writings, because after all, we all know that the pen is mightier than the sword. He looked at issues like the caste issue, the condition of widows, children, etc. Now let me start talking to you about The Child. The story is actually told by a narrator. You know, a narrator is the one who is telling us the story, but please remember that he need not be the writer himself. But it is written in what we call first person. That means I was standing, I was doing this, is how the story goes. Okay? So in this story, we have a narrator who says that he had a number of servants. He lived a comfortable life, but he's telling us about one particular servant. The servant is called Gangu. Gangu was a Brahmin, and he was proud of his Brahminhood. You know, we're talking of the 19th century, where caste was very important. So Gangu was a Brahmin, and he thought he was superior to the other servants who also worked in the narrator's house. There were certain things he would do and certain things he would not do, because he thought they were beneath his dignity. Anyway, the narrator tells us that he did not encourage the servants to talk too much to him. But one day, Gangu came up to him, was hesitant to begin talking. He wanted to tell him something important that was obvious. And the author, the narrator, was getting a little impatient because it was time for his morning walk. He wanted Gangu to tell him quickly what he had come for. Gangu went on and on, hesitating, hemming and hawing, till he finally said, I want to quit this job. I want to stop working for you. The narrator was shocked because he was considered to be a good master. He paid his servants well. He treated them well. He didn't order them about. He was never rude to them. And it was very surprising when Gangu announced that he wanted to leave. So the narrator asks him, why do you want to leave? Is it something about the pay? Is it about something else? No, sir. Nothing of that sort. But I want to leave. I want to quit this job because I'm getting married. Getting married? So why should you give up the job? Asked the narrator. He said, no, he hesitated and then he said, I'm getting married to Gomti Devi. The narrator was horrified. He was shocked. What do you mean? You didn't find anyone else to marry? Why are you marrying Gomti Devi? So let me tell you something, students, about who Gomti Devi was. What was her name in that town? Well, she was now staying in the widow's home, but she's supposed to have been married at least 2 or 3 times earlier. And she always came away from her husband. So the narrator was really surprised. Why did Gangu have to marry someone like this? But Gangu went on, no, master, I'm sure I want to marry her. She's a good woman. She has been misrepresented. And if I work for you, people will probably say things. And I don't want your name to be spoiled just because I'm married to her. So I think I should quit. The narrator says he found no reason to say anything else, so he just agreed. So Gangu quit, got married, set up house. The narrator was sure that this marriage would not last. A month, 2 months. But Gangu did not come back. 6 months later, a very forlorn, a very sad-looking Gangu came back. And he said, Master, Gomti has run away. The narrator thought to himself, so I've been proved right. I knew that this woman would not stay in a marriage for too long. I knew Gangu was doing a mistake, but he didn't listen to me. And so, see, this is what's happened. What I knew would happen. Gangu did not say a word against Gomti, but the narrator says he asked him, has she run away with a lot of things? Has she taken away money? Has she taken jewels? Gangu shook his head sadly and said, no, master, she has not even taken away what is hers. She has not taken anything. She has just left me without a word. The master could not understand, but yet there was nothing that he could do about it. Does the story end there? No, it does not. A month later, Gangu landed up one day at the narrator's house, his master's house, with a little baby, with a child, probably a month old, in his arms. And he says, Master, I've come to show you my son. The narrator is surprised. He says, your son? You got married only 6 months ago? He says, no, ma'am. This is Gomti's son. She ran away because she did not want to give birth to this child in my home, because I am not the father of this child. But that doesn't matter to me, master. This is Gomti's child. And so I am going to take care of this child as if he were mine. The narrator says he stood there shell-shocked. Shell-shocked means totally surprised, totally shocked to see what a good man stood there in front of him, accepting his wife's child as his own. The story ends there, my dear students. Not an easy story, I know. So many issues that are being asked here. But Munshi Premchand did write such stories. Stories about the goodness of human nature. And Gangu, I think, is the best example of one such human being. To read the story, it's in translation, but it's a beautiful story. Let's look at some of the questions now, my dear students. After all, you have to prepare for your exams too. Short notes on the narrator, short notes on Gangu, on Gopti, on the ending of the story, on the title of the story. These would be your short notes. And my dear students, short questions, as you always know, you have to answer in 1 or 2 sentences. Why did Gangu want to give up his job? Who was Gomti Devi? Why did she run away? Was she a good woman? Was the narrator surprised when Gomti Devi ran away? Why? Why not? These would be your short questions. Read the story again, look at the questions, look at the other sample questions and sample papers on the website, and prepare for your examination. All the best, my dear students.